Here we go, off to class. Okay, focus this time. You gotta get to class, you gotta do the commute. You have 45 minutes until class starts, and you're trying to make a 40-minute commute. Focus. Should have probably grabbed a thicker jacket. Probably would have been smart, but then again, when am I known for making smart decisions about how I dress? Ooh, okay, here we go. Kind of glad that I took night classes, just in the sense that, like, A, I get to sleep in later, and also look how cool the city is. The way that all the lights are like hitting the pavement and making this cool artsy like, collage of color. I don't know. I like it. But then again, this is the inner monologue of an arts major, or I should say theater major, but I guess theater is a type of art. So in a way, I'm that cliche girl who grew up in small town Indiana and made her way to the big city. But that's okay. It's okay to be a cliche sometimes. I'm sure lots of other people walking right now are cliches. It makes you wonder, you know? I'm gonna like mentally take notes of everything I see. Like this window display. Do you think that's considered art? I mean, it's someone's job to, figure out what to put in the windows to attract customers and to make people interested in buying the things from their store, but I feel like it's more than that. I feel like it's this piece of art that is kind of underappreciated. I mean, just look at the way that all of the colors go together, the way the lights keep the display to make it more vibrant and more, pleasing. Not to mention, I mean, they're trying to say something with their art. In this case, it's selling it, but maybe that's kind of what art is, It has a purpose. Or what about all the colors of the city? The way that the sounds of the cars contrast the brightness of these flowers. The ground in the cars are so concrete and forced, but then these flowers are so naturally vibrant and colorful. They make me want to be a painter, and I can't paint. But if I could capture these colors onto a page, then I could make someone feel what I'm feeling. It makes you wonder, though, if the city itself is art, if these flowers are just a small portion of this giant piece of art that we call New York City. Gosh, I need to focus on getting to school. But it's also distracting. I get distracted by things that could become a part of a production. Like, can you imagine a character just walking on the road running or buying flowers for their loved one, which I'm sure thousands of people have done here? Okay, well, focus. You're running out of time. You need to get to class. This commute isn't so that you can just wander around and think about artistic things. You were trying to get from point A to point B, but that seems like such a waste. There's so much around me, and there's so much of living in New York City that makes me feel artistic, and it inspires me to do the things that I want to do. Maybe this is a part of my college experience. Maybe this commute is a vital part of what I'm going to learn from living in New York City. Crap, okay, crossing the street. Isabel, stop thinking about artistic stuff for 1 second and don't get hit by a car. I wonder what that guy's thinking. I wonder if he saw me and if he was like, wow, she looks really artistic. She must be an arts major. Or if he just completely zoned me out. I guess New York gives you that option. I mean, you could zone it out, but why would you want to? Look at this. There's so much around. There's so much to take in. I feel like I need to carry out a notebook and make character observations. And write down, like, oh, I saw the man rushing across the street. He must have been rushing to buy the vibrant flowers to gift his loved one. Even though it's probably not the case and he was just going to work. But still, if I could just capture the feelings that I have when I'm taking this commute that I'm going to be taking every day for a long time, I feel like I could do something really cool with it. Something very cliche artistic. But then again, listen to me describing my commute. I'm a walking cliche living in New York City. The walking cliche of an arts major, walking to class in New York City. Wow, that's what I've become. But I'm kind of okay with it. I kind of like this dance of a commute. The way you weave in and out of people, the way there's a set routine every day, but every time you perform it, it's a little bit different. Sometimes you don't cross the street at the same time, even though eventually you will cross the same street. Sometimes you see different people and you interact with them in different ways. Like right now, I feel like if I were in a dance, I would need to make sure that I'm not blocked, that people can see me. But with so many people around, maybe that's the point of this New York City dance, is to be hidden. Here we go, time to go underground, almost to school. Okay, not gonna be late, not gonna be late. At the subway, Easy sailing from here. Not as much to distract you. Going underground. Don't trip, don't trip, don't trip, don't trip, don't trip, don't trip, don't trip. Okay, didn't trip. We're good. Okay, here we go. Time to do the subway dance. Here we go. Sliding and we're in. Going to class. Look at me, the art student. I got this. I can do it. I got this. I can ride the subway. I can, there we go. Every performer makes mistakes. Oops. See, it's so different. Every day that you commute, you have to interact with people, and I wonder what they're thinking. I mean, they're pretty dressed up, and they're probably going to have to do something fun, and I'm on my way to class. But look all around. This is so, like, it's a historic set. That's what I feel like. That's what New York City is. It's this historic set, and this amazing time and place that offers this opportunity to be artistic all the time. It's everything that I could have ever wanted, and yet it's so overwhelming all at once. It's almost time to be at class. Crap. Okay, I still have time. I'm not late yet. Not late yet. Just gonna get on the subway, and just when I get off the subway, I'm just gonna run. Just gonna bolt to class. Gosh, it's so cool down here, right? Like everyone is so different, but we all use the same subway line to get to where we need to go. I don't know. I like that idea. Oh, here we go. Last step of the dance. Onto the subway. Whew. Here we go. Okay, stand clear of closing doors. And then, just like that, I mean, you're surrounded by people who are coming and going, and they're going off to do different things than you're doing, and it's a different life. It's so interesting to me that so many people can be so similar yet so different. Here we go.